Hello everyone, this is Caitlin at the Creation Museum. I'm here in the petting zoo with the zoo supervisor Leanne, and it's looking a lot like Christmas here, so we're going to interact with some of the animals today, and we hope you'll send in your questions. If you have any, we'll try to answer those, and we'll just take a look around the petting zoo and hope to see you here in person at some point. So I'll turn it over to you, Leanne.
Hi everybody. Today we're actually going to do some special Christmas-based enrichment with our animals. So we're going to first look over here at Zoe and Cletus, who are our Zorse and Zonkey. So we'll go ahead and let them out. So we actually have them in their stalls right now, so we could place some enrichment in the yard for them. So today we have some lettuce and apple wreaths that the zookeepers made for them, and we also have these nice paper mache, either ornaments or presents, you can kind of decide. They are filled with some nice treats, a variety of treats. We'll see if Zoe and Cletus interact with them or not. This is the first time they've seen paper mache, so we'll see how this goes. But I thought this would be a really fun, kind of cool idea. So the paper mache, all it is it's some newspaper and some flour and water mixture to hold it together. So it's perfectly fine if they ingest a little bit of it. It won't hurt them at all. And then there's just a light coat of non-toxic, basically finger paint on it. So just like you would use with kids. So if they ingest a little bit of it, it's not going to hurt them at all. So Zoe is loving this wreath right now. I don't think they're quite sure what to think of these ornaments on the ground here. Cletus is definitely a little bit like, oh, I don't know. He's kind of on high alert here. So, which is a great part of enrichment, just adding something to the exhibit that they've never seen before. So they might be a little bit afraid of it, but that's okay because that is a natural behavior. So we just try to encourage that, and eventually they'll figure out that these have treats in them. So some of my zookeepers worked really hard this morning to chop up a bunch of apples, some lettuce, some carrots, and then there's also some horse treats in those as well. So I'm hoping what they'll do is pick them up and kind of run around with them. That's what I'm hoping they'll do. They're kind of all about the wreaths right now. So building wreaths, in theory, it was a good idea, but these are the first ones we did, so we might have to try them out again over Christmas Town. We might hang some up during some of the Christmas Town nights, so we'll work on them and see if we can get them to look a little bit more wreath-like.
At least they taste good.
Yes.
They seem to anyway.
They taste good, and that's all these guys care about. They don't really care how pretty they are or anything. Oh, Cletus. He's rolling on around.
Yeah.
So I have to thank my keepers for building all these paper maches for us. On the cold days the last couple weeks, we've been hiding out either in our Kawadi shed or in the grounds and zoo's trailer, working on this paper mache on the cold days and painting it and everything. So I think our zookeepers had just as much fun building this as probably the animals are going to have with it.
Yeah, they look really cool.
Yeah. So we'll probably start using these a little bit more. We might do some more, once again, for Christmas Town. We want to stick some fun stuff in the exhibits with these guys at night, so guests can kind of see them moving around, interacting with different stuff. Zoe is not sure what to think of this stuff. She says, I'm just going to go with what I know. I know this food over here is fine. It's not going to hurt me. So the wreaths are also, they're built with just like a biodegradable twine. So if the animals do ingest a little bit of that fiber, it's not going to hurt them at all. So I wouldn't use like a plastic rope or anything with that. They're having a blast with it. So Zoe and Cletus will be on exhibit every night during Christmas Town. Most nights they'll actually probably have their yard as well as the camel yard, so you might get to see them run around. Usually on Christmas Town nights these guys like to show off, so they'll actually run laps between this exhibit and the camel exhibit, make big old laps around. I think they get as excited for Christmas Town as our guests do. So our camels, one will be doing rides and one will be up at our live nativity. So
awesome.
They get to have a blast and have way more space to run around in.
Yeah.
Oh, Cletus.
Does he tend to be a little more adventurous than her, a little braver?
Actually, Zoe tends to be the braver one. If you just see him in the exhibit, you would think that he is the braver one, but actually Zoe tends to be the one that is the first to investigate things and check them out.
Oh.
And then he'll come in once she has made sure it's safe. So I'm kind of surprised to see him messing around with the ornaments right away today. I figured she would be the one that would figure those out first, but he figured them out first. So yeah. That's great for Cletus. Okay, we can move over to the camels the camel exhibit now. So Scotty is going to let our camels out. They have some gift boxes here. So I got one of them painted. The other one is just a regular old white box, but we'll see what they do with these boxes. There's a bunch of great treats in there. We've got some apples, some lettuce, some carrots, some sweet potatoes in there. So they're going to come out and check out their boxes. I also put some scent enrichment on top of these boxes. So there's actually some almond extract, so like Christmas cookies.
Yum.
So we put some nice almond extract on top of these for the camels. CJ is probably going to come running out of the barn. Oh, no, we're going to walk. Usually when we place enrichment and then we pen him up, that usually he comes out and is very excited and runs all over the place. But
It's like a kid on Christmas morning.
yeah, he is a kid on Christmas morning. He is a kid every day of the year. So usually CJ will pick up his box and throw it. I don't know if, Gomer tends to be more of the, I'm going to investigate it. I don't think he likes the almond extract. I don't know if he knows quite what to think of that smell. Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow.
You gonna pick it up? Oh, yeah. Apparently he is not a fan of almonds. That's good to know. When they shake their lips like that, either they really like something or they really don't like something. Just based on his other body reactions, I would say he does not approve of the almond extract. So we like to use scent enrichment, incorporate it either with food enrichment or just by itself with these guys. Camels have a very, very good sense of smell, and they really, really do enjoy rubbing their noses on things, especially if they like the scents. So Gomer is obviously saying, I don't really like the smell of this stuff.
Yeah.
But with other scents, they'll just rub their faces all over it and get it rubbed all over their faces. It's great.
So have they done this kind of before, opening boxes?
Yes. So boxes, we actually use boxes with them fairly often. They're a part of our enrichment program for these guys. CJ over there really, really, really loves boxes. So once he gets done with the food that's in there, he'll actually pick up the box and carry it around and shake it.
That's so funny.
And just kind of destroy it. They'll actually sit on them. So when camels get really excited and really want to play with something, they'll actually sit on top of it. Which after Christmas, I didn't get any before Christmas because Christmas trees are still full price. But after Christmas, we can usually go around to a couple different stores and they actually will just have their Christmas trees there for free. So we'll get their live cut Christmas trees and bring them in here for the animals to play with. And the camels love to sit on the trees.
Really?
They will sit down on top of the trees.
You think that would hurt?
You would think, but I think
Maybe yes, not them.
They've got pretty thick skin, so I think they're okay with it. They also like to pick them up and throw them. And it's a great toy for them. So usually that's after Christmas. We'll get some trees and bring them in here.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
Camels love them. And Norman, our Jersey steer, he loves just rubbing his head all over it. He can destroy a tree in about 10 minutes just rubbing his head on it. So it's great. So yeah, we use these boxes fairly often. We have to be careful with CJ where we place the boxes because he just gets so excited and happy with them. This summer he actually gave himself a nosebleed because he hit his nose on one of the rocks in there from shaking the box around. So we have to be careful and watch him very closely, make sure he's not getting too excited with his box. Gomer here pretty much just eats the food. He might drag the box around a little bit and then he's done. CJ's definitely the kid in here, so he definitely, when we give him any sort of toy, he's like, oh, yay, I'm so excited. So these guys, they love playing with stuff. Just like kids like playing with stuff, these guys love playing with toys as well. Their toys just look a little bit different. So we didn't give these guys any paper mache because I didn't want them ingesting too much of it, just because both of these guys tend to eat paper. So we went with just the cardboard boxes. So they got their nice big gifts.
Yeah, and
gifts
Gomer's
today.
figured his out.
Yes, Gomer has figured his out. He will flip it and roll it around. I think he figured out that there's no almond extract on that end of the box. So he says, okay, I'm going to eat from this end. And once again, that's just painted with some kids' finger paint. So if he gets it on him, or eats some of it, it's not a big deal at all. Let's see. I think Zoe and Cletus are maybe kind of figuring out this whole ornament thing, maybe. Zoe's not quite sure what to do with hers. She's she's actually touching it now, so it's a good thing. So a lot of
Moving
times,
in the right direction.
yeah, so with these guys, as I said earlier, with these guys, you know, putting something in that might be scary is fine because we can leave it in with them and we'll keep an eye on them, and then they'll eventually figure out, okay, this is okay. It's not gonna eat me. So with these guys, we joke a lot. You know, it's a lion. They think everything's a lion. It's gonna eat them because they're half zebra. So that's what we like to joke about with them.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move over to Norman and Ella. Looks like Norman has already destroyed things.
So they've got their ornaments too.
Yeah, so they had some wreaths too, and they had some ornaments, and it looks like Norman smashed his already. He figured things out quickly. And they've already taken a wreath down as well.
Oh, they had a wreath too. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I see that over there.
Yep.
And everybody's got their warm winter coats.
Everybody's nice and fuzzy, so if you come out and visit this time of year, you'll notice the animals all have a very, very fuzzy coat right now. That just helps them keep warm over these nice cold days. Ella actually has a blanket, and she'll actually get her blanket on tonight because it's going to get very cold tonight.
Yes.
So we don't normally put blankets on the animals, but Ella is an exception. She's kind of pampered and spoiled, and when it gets cold, she'll like come up to you and say, "Where's my blanket?" So she's got a cute little maroon blanket she wears. So she'll have that on tonight.
So are either of them a part of Christmastown?
Yes. So both of these guys will be up at Christmastown. They will be on the right side of the Bethlehem house. They've got an area up there so guests can come up and see them and pet them, interact with them a little bit. Norman usually is all about his hay, so normally we put a big pile of hay up there for him to keep him happy so he's not being too loud and disruptive. But yeah, usually Ella will be right up at the fence wanting to get petted and loved on. And then one of the camels, it'll be mostly V. Gomer that's up at the live nativity this year. He's a little bit more calmer than CJ.
Yeah.
So he'll be up there to say hi to folks as well. We'll move down to the alpacas. They're probably terrified of theirs. The alpacas, it takes them a long time to get used to things, so we'll see how they're actually sniffing in. Hi, Alfonso. So the one with the white face here is Alfonso, and then the white one is Rico, and the little tan one over there is Yankee. And we'll see if they actually will mess with their ornaments at all. They may or may not. We might have to come back later and check and see if they figured out how to roll them around. They actually, just a couple weeks ago, we use puzzle feeders for our animals, so we'll use those throughout the week. Kind of try to vary who gets them and when they get them, just so everybody is always surprised when they get them. But this year, just a couple weeks ago, these guys actually figured out how to roll the puzzle feeder to get the food out. So we have been trying with them for a while. We'd put it in every now and then, and they just couldn't figure out. They were just scared of it. But they finally figured out how to make it work. It was really great. We might get some alpaca snorts here. They're not quite sure what to think of these things.
That the ornaments, the paper mache, kind of functions like the puzzle feeders, right? They move it around, they roll it around, and the treats come out.
Yep. So it's kind of just a disposable puzzle feeder, if you will.
Yeah.
And also with these, they can, in theory, pick them up and carry them around as well. So they're a little bit different. Give them a little bit more of an option what to kind of do with them. They can either roll them around, pick them up. It's kind of up to them, so it gives them a little bit more option. Also, some of the paper mache does have some scents on it. It has some of the orange extract or the almond extract on it as well. So offers them kind of something different to smell and to check out. And they're just all kind of like, I don't know what these things are. What are we supposed to do with these things?
So for our viewers, if you have any questions about Alfonso and Yankee, Rico, or any of the other animals we've met so far today, feel free to send those in the comments. We can try to answer them. Or Leanne can. I don't know if I could.
Yeah, I'll try to answer them. No promises. Okay, we'll move over here to Wallabies and see if Skippy and Bandit have figured out their treats yet. Looks like they're having a ball with their lettuce. They're probably not touching their paper mache. Oh, or Skippy likes it? Okay. Okay, so Skippy is the one kind of more sitting upright, holding the lettuce. Thank you, Scotty. And then Bandit's kind of the one that's got got his back to us. So these guys, a lot of people kind of, if they see them out during this time of year, they're kind of like, well, how do you have these guys out in this cold weather? These guys actually do fairly well in the cold, as long as they have a nice warm spot to get in, kind of get out of the weather. So their barn is insulated. They've got heat in there. It's warm. So a lot of times the zookeepers will actually go and hide and snuggle with Skippy and Bandit just to warm up. But they will be out periodically throughout the day, especially if the sun's out. So on a lot of these colder days, if the sun's going to come out, they might come out and say hi, but they also may not come out and say hi. So it's kind of one of those things, like you may or may not see them if you come and visit this time of year, just depending on the weather and kind of what they're feeling. Over at Christmastown, usually Christmastown nights, these guys are pretty active. They'll be out kind of checking out everything. I think with the lights and the people, they're kind of like, oh, what's going on? So if you are going to come out for Christmastown and the weather's, it's not raining or anything, these guys they might be out in the yard to greet you and say hi.
Awesome. Someone asked how long they've been at the museum.
See, the Wallabies have been here. Skippy just turned 8, so they've been here almost 8 years.
Long time. Is that how long the petting zoo's been open?
Yes, the petting zoo opened about 8.5 years ago. We opened a year after the museum opened.
So Skippy's been here for the whole time, almost.
Almost the whole time. They came about 6 months after, I think it was about 6 months after the petting zoo opened that they added the Wallabies in.
Okay.
So they're all about the lettuce today. Oh, Skippy's got a piece of apple. These guys are my favorite. I just love watching them eat. They hold their lettuce or hold their pieces of apple and eat it. Just adorable.
Very cute.
And their ornaments have Cheez-Its in them. So cheese crackers are these guys, one of their favorite snacks in the entire world. So we put some cheese crackers in these for them to roll around. We were hoping they would smell them and figure out, oh, there's something we really, really want in here. So we need to check them out.
Will they get a Christmas tree in their enclosure?
Yes. Now we have to be careful about what variety of tree we put in there with them, but yes, they will have a Christmas tree, and they will eat the needles, they'll eat the bark. It's great. They love it.
Yeah. So what kind of trees do they need, and what do you avoid?
We try to feed out mostly pines. We do some firs, some spruces. So most of the other animals can have any of those. We just have to be a little bit more careful with the wallabies. What's really nice is our staff, a lot of them after Christmas is over, they'll take all the ornaments and decorations off their trees, and then they'll bring them in for us to use with the animals.
That's great.
So I just always go and double check, make sure there's no tinsel or ornament hangers or ornaments left on. Because, when you're taking stuff off, your tree, sometimes you miss a piece or two.
Right.
But after we make sure that they're clean, then we'll put them in with the animals. So usually, camels usually get trees first, and then Norman and Ella get a tree. Goats and sheep really like the trees as well. And then wallabies usually get a tree too.
Yeah.
So.
Are Bandit and Skippy good friends?
They get along. So we added Bandit just a few years ago. So he's the new guy here. But we've never had a problem with them. They get along. They hang out together. Skippy is definitely the friendlier of the two. So if one hops up to the fence to say hi, it's probably Skippy, just because he was hand raised, and he was hand raised with the intent of being very friendly. Whereas Bandit was hand raised, but he was a lot more hands off. So he was destined to be more in a traditional zoo setting where the animal's not necessarily going to come up to the fence and say hi to you. It just depends on the day. Sometimes Bandit decides, oh yeah, I want to come up and say hi. Most of the time, though, he's a little bit more shy and kind of stay back off the fence a little bit. But Skippy he comes up to the fence all the time. He is very, very friendly.
Yes. When we've done our live streams, he's always been very friendly.
Yes, he's my little snuggle buddy.
Yeah. So the dates for Christmastown are extended this year. It's December 16th through the 23rd and the 26th through the 30th.
Okay, we'll go around the back here to goats and sheep and see if they've gotten their goodies yet. We'll have to do another walk around once we see them and see how much damage everybody's inflicted on their enrichment.
Maybe we'll get to see CJ with his box.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see CJ carrying around his box. So Marcy, Caitlin, and Peyton are putting our enrichment items in here now. Oh, Thumbelina, what was that? So we have 4 sheep here at the museum. We have Thumbelina. She's got horns, but she's a female. And then we have Midnight, who is our little Shetland sheep. And then we have Theo and Alvin, who are our hair sheep. They will be helping us out with Christmastown as well. So 2 of them will be up at the live nativity. And then the other 2 will be hanging out with our shepherds out here in the petting zoo. So you'll have to stop by and say hi to them. And of course our goats will be in here, and you can feed them during Christmastown. We have special petting zoo feed for them. Don't feed them your popcorn or donuts, even though they would love it. They're all on a diet, and that's not good for their diets. Theo and Alvin decided to come out and say hi. They were like, oh, there's food. Well, these guys, it took them about 2 seconds to figure out these things. Oh, there comes some more babies. So Peter, Edmund, and Tumnus have kind of grown up.
Yeah, they've gotten a lot bigger since the last time we saw them.
Yeah, these guys are almost 10 months old now. So they're almost full grown. They might get a little bit taller, and they'll probably fill out a little bit more as well.
They're nice and fuzzy
for
winter.
They're very fuzzy. So in past years, we actually have done coats for our goats on some of the colder days. I haven't gotten a chance to make new coats for these guys yet, but we'll probably be making them some just for the very, very super, super cold nights. Now their barns are insulated, and they do have heat in there as well, but some nights it gets very, very cold. And of course, the sheep do just fine. They've got their nice woolly coats. We don't have to worry too much about them.
So what have they got in their ornaments?
So in their ornaments, they've got some chopped up carrots, apples, lettuce, and then those things that kind of look like cheese puffs are actually horse treats. They're carrot flavored horse treats. So these guys, pretty much all of our animals love horse treats. So they are all just going to town with us.
Yeah.
This is great fun
They're
for
not
them.
shy about it.
No. So this time of year, we try especially hard to give them enrichment items, just because we don't have as many guests coming out to see us because it's cold out here. So we try to make sure we're giving them things to do during the day, so they're not getting bored, or just hanging out in their barns eating all day long, which some days they do. Yesterday they were all in the barn all day. We were having rain and snow showers, and they were all just like, yeah, we're going to stay inside. The goats, as soon as they see a drop of rain, they're like, okay, we're going inside.
Me too.
Yeah. The sheep are a little bit more brave, but not too much more brave.
Yeah.
They'll do a couple drops of rain, and then they're like, okay, we're done. Oh, nobody wants to knock that one off the rock, apparently. I think that red one is a little scary. Well, everybody's happily munching.
Seems like, is it Peter, Edmund, and Tumnus? It seems like they tend to stick together a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely, so we kind of have a couple packs in here.
Yeah.
So the sheep kind of run together, and then Floppet and Ike are our Nigerian dwarves over here. They're twins, so they hang out together a lot. And then the pygmy goat boys, they kind of hang out together as well. Sure. Now, if we take 2 out for a walk, everybody else likes to raise a ruckus because they all want to go out as well. But yeah, they do kind of tend to form packs inside of here. Yeah. So they're one big herd, but they kind of form like sub-herds.
Little cliques.
Yeah, kind of. And then everybody, picks on each other. And yeah.
Yeah, I wondered about that because I kind of noticed them gravitating towards certain spots.
Yeah, so the little guys, they kind of get they kind of get picked on a little bit because they're the little guys. So everybody's like, oh, I can kind of push you around a little bit. So you'll kind of notice they kind of try to go to wherever there's not a whole lot of. I say that, and Peter's over here in the midst of goats and sheep, but he's the brave one.
Yes.
He'll get right in there, and or Edmund and Tumnus tend to kind of let's go for the easy food. Whatever's the easy food, that's what we'll kind of go for. Peter's much more of the get in and get some food. So. Gomer's over here. I don't know if you can hear the camel noises in the background. Gomer's over here guarding his present. He says, "I will not share with you, CJ." Oh no! And that is why when we give enrichment, we always have a keeper here to watch. Especially with the goats and sheep. They can tend to get their heads places they ought not to be. Oh my.
Oh, look over there.
Yes, Cletus is shredding an ornament.
Oh my goodness.
Good job, Cletus. He says, is this edible? I guess he decided flour didn't taste all that good. Yeah, they're all really enjoying this enrichment today. I wasn't sure how they would react to this stuff. So
Yeah.
that's always good to see them enjoy something new.
Yeah.
Just because that means we can add something else into our enrichment programs. So we're varying it, so they're not constantly getting the same type of enrichment all the time.
So this is the first time you've done the ornaments.
Yep,
And the wreaths?
We've done wreaths in the past for Christmas, but this is the first time I've done the ornaments, the paper mache with them.
Okay.
So.
What are some things that inspire you? Because it seems like you're always coming up with new ideas and just full of creativity.
So I follow several zookeeping groups on Facebook, and a lot of people will post their enrichment, just what different zoos are doing. I follow a lot of zoos, kind of see what they're doing. Pinterest, I actually follow several enrichment boards on Pinterest. So that's where a lot of these ideas came from was Pinterest and other zookeepers. And then sometimes you just kind of you're like, I wonder if that would work.
Yeah.
So sometimes it just completely comes to me, without any inspiration, but a lot of times I'm copying what somebody else has already done or modifying it to work for the animals we have.
Right.
So here we have a lot of hoof stock, so animals with hooves. And they're a little bit harder to enrich just because they're very food motivated. So you have to almost always give them something that has food somehow involved with it.
Okay.
Where with different types of animals, you can use different types of things. So with primates, you can give them a lot of different things. Carnivores, you can give them a wide variety of things. Where with a lot of these guys, it has to be food, or they don't really care for it a whole lot.
Interesting. Yeah.
So a lot of times it's modifying things to somehow include food.
Yeah.
Because if we just stuck these paper mache ornaments in here with nothing in them, they would have probably rolled them around a little bit and then been like, we're done. But it's trying to get them engaged with something they're really excited about.
Yeah.
Make it worth their while, basically.
Yeah. Plus, 'tis the season for treats,
Yes, 'tis the season. These guys get pampered out here, so they get their little Christmas gifts, and as I said, we try to do things like this that are very Christmassy.
Yeah.
For them. Not that they necessarily care about how they receive their enrichment, but it also guests really enjoy watching them get enrichment.
It's really cool for the guests.
That's honestly half of the reason why we do it is for guests, so the guests can kind of see them being active, engaging in very natural behaviors, foraging, looking for food, rolling things around, that sort of thing. These are all very natural behaviors for these animals, so it's great to be able to show guests what they can do and what they're capable of doing.
Yeah.
So.
If you have any questions about the animals, again, feel free to send those in and we'll try to answer them with Leanne.
Yep. Okay, we can do a walk around and see what everybody's doing with their enrichment items. Looks like Cletus is enjoying eating some of his paper. Eating a little bit is fine. I think it probably smelled or tasted like some veggies and things. So he's just looking to see if there's any more veggies. And oh yeah.
Looks like they wiped them clean.
Yeah, I think they cleaned them out. Didn't take them long. See, Gomer's got his head stuck in a, well, not actually stuck, but he's still cleaning out his box over here.
I was just laughing because CJ's just standing there like,
Yeah,
please,
CJ's
can I have some?
Can I please? Can you share? You cleaned out your box already, buddy.
If you have a question,
So Gomer is definitely enjoying his Christmas box here. Surprised CJ's not running around with his. It's probably because there's food in there, and there's still food in there, so he's like, I want the food. Food is good. Food is very good. Gomer says, I don't have to share with you. I'm not going to. Oh, Ella is also eating her ornaments as well. She says, ooh, this tastes yummy.
Now, she's been here a long time too, right?
She's actually the first animal that was born here.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yep. So she is Petting Zoo original. Norman says, why are you eating paper?